Life. Okay, today we are going to talk real quickly about navigation. So this is nothing new. It's all the same formulas we've seen before. We just have to figure out how to draw it. Well, with navigation, 0 is up at north, okay? North is 0, east is 90 degrees, south is 120 degrees, and west is 270. So when you take a look at your compass / protractor, you can redo it so you've got 0 up at north and then 10, 20, 30, 40. So you can use these protractors as compasses. It rotates differently. If you were to look at a protractor starts 0 here, right, and rotates that way, whereas a compass starts 0 at north and rotates that way. So they're slightly different, okay? So if I were to go ahead and navigate, this is north 30 degrees east. So how this works is you look north. I'm heading north. And I rotate 30 degrees towards the east. You watching? Super easy. You look at north, you just rotate 30 degrees to the east. So on my protractor / compass, north, I'm going to make a mark at 30. See, I've got 0 degrees. 0 at north, 10, 20, 30. Make a mark at 30 degrees. And then I'm just going to draw in my angle, okay? So it's going to be about there, okay? 30 degrees. Okay, south, 25 degrees west, so I'm going to look south, all right, looking south, and I rotate 25 degrees towards west. See what I'm doing? Looking south, and I rotate 25 degrees towards the west. Everybody see that? Okay, so I'm going to look south, so I zeroed out at south, so I got 0 down here at south, and 10, 20, 25 degrees, and that's my direction, okay? So I can draw that in, and there's my 25 degrees. Because I look south, and I rotate 25 degrees towards the west. Okay. Now you can also do it as a rotation. So 300 degrees would be going all the way around. So there's another way you can do it, is like on a whole 360. But again, north is 0, right? So I put my 0. See, I've got my compass there. So another way to do navigation or bearing, 0, and I go all the way around to 300 degrees, which is right there, okay? Go all the way around to 300 degrees, and that would be a 300 degree rotation. So this entire angle here is 300 degrees. Okay, pretty easy? Everybody okay on that? It's not that difficult, okay? The big key is your protractor / compass points north. Points north, right? Zero's at north. That's key. Yeah, 80.
Does it matter where you write the degree?
No, not all. Yeah. So 0, see 0, and all the way around to 300. Okay. See, I did it. I'm pointing north, 0 degrees. North is at 0, right? Okay. Here's the directions. I'm going to look to the north, and then I'm going to turn 30 degrees towards the east. And I just use my protractors. Okay, well, I'm looking north, and I'm going to rotate 30 degrees towards my east. See it, Anna? I'm looking north, 0 degrees, and I'll rotate 30 degrees towards the east. Okay, now this one, I'm going to look south, so turn my compass around, the deep south, look down at south at 0, right? And I rotate 25 degrees towards the west, right? It's not that hard, is it? And then there's another way to get a full rotation of 300 degrees, okay? I'll do it again. Okay, so if I have my compass in my hand, it's going to look north. And if I want to rotate 300 degrees, I'd have to go almost all the way around the circle. Does that make sense? You with me on that? So, Jackson, I'm going to look north, 0. There's my 0, and I got to rotate all, 360, so it's almost the whole circle. All the way until I get to 300 degrees. And hold on, had it backwards. Take my glasses off so I can see. 0, 10, 90. See what the numbers I'm using? All the way to 300 degrees, okay? So it's almost a full circle revolution. Yeah.
It doesn't say north or south.
Right. So there's two ways. There's 2 ways to do bearing. I like to call it bearing because you're in the woods navigating with bearing, okay, or navigation. 2 ways. One is with a north-south direction, okay? And the first two are with a north-south direction. The other is just a full rotation. So if you're on a boat, and I know the song. Anyway, let's say you're on a boat. No, I'm not going to sing bad songs. Anyway. So if you are on a boat and you're looking at your compass and you have to go at a bearing of 300 degrees, you just make sure your compass rotates to 300. We make that heading at 300 degrees. Does that make sense? It's the same thing as going. This is the same thing as going. You ready? This is the same thing as going north 60 degrees to the west. These two are the same. These two are the same. Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
So you started at north.
0 degrees and rotate all the way around.
I'm saying, but it would be a different answer if you started out south and what.
Right. So it depends on what your directions are, right?
Right, but it doesn't have any directions, so it could be either.
No, if it's just without any directions, you just start at 0 degrees, which is at the top, right? 0, and you rotate all the way around 300 degrees. Okay, now let's do this little story problem, okay? So 2 ships leave port at the same time. Ship A, yeah.
Could you go the other way when doing
No, because that would be going in negative rotation, right? Okay, because check it out. What does this thing do? Okay, hold on. Okay, check out. Look at this. Okay, here's your compass, right? How does a compass go? 0, 20, 40, 60, 80, right? This is the way a compass rotates. It rotates that way. It doesn't rotate the other, okay? All right, and that's a good thing because it should be one way so we don't get lost in the woods, right? If we went both ways, somebody would get lost in the woods if we went both ways, right? All right, so let's do a little bit of a boat trip. So 2 ships leave port at the same time. Ship A travels 8 knots on a bearing of north 35 east. So this first boat is kind of going. Watch. I'll try and draw it. Okay, the first boat's kind of going that way. Okay, boat A is kind of going that way. Does that make sense? And I'm going to draw it perfectly in a second. And then ship B is going south 10, so ship B is going this way. See, that's not working very well. Okay, ship B is going this way, okay? So here's B and there's A. So I want to know kind of the way they're going so I know where to start. So I'll put a dot somewhere right about there and call that P for port, okay? How am I doing? Does that make sense? Put a dot there called P for port. All right, we got it? Now, if you're a sailor, you're going to look at your compass. So I'm going to draw a little, what I call a compass rose. This is my compass rose. Okay. And am I at port? There's my north, right? My west, my south, my east. I do know that's east. South and west. Okay. So if I'm going to do this problem, if I want to draw it, okay. You watching? You watching? You watching? I know. Of course you are. Okay. So now what I'm going to do here is take a journey. So boat A is going to go on a bearing of north 35 east. So I north it out. I'm at 0 north, and I want to go 35 degrees. So I go 10, 20, 30, 35 degrees is about there, okay? So my boat's heading in that direction, right? So I'm going north 35 degrees toward the east. See that so far? I'm looking north 35 degrees towards the east. Capiche? I'm looking north 35 degrees to the east, okay? Now I'm going to draw that 8 knots, or how about 8 centimeters, okay? I'm going to draw that 8 centimeters, okay? So I'm going to take my ruler and draw it 8 centimeters. Now it's kind of off my page, it's all good. It's all good. Okay. There's boat A, okay? So I know that this is a 35 degree angle and this is 8, okay? How am I doing? Okay? I got my 35 degrees, right? I northed it 35 degrees, and then I drew it 8 centimeters to call it 8 knots, okay? Knots is like a speed, but we'll call that the length, okay? Now boat B is going to be kind of going south, right? So boat B is going to be going south. They're going south 10 degrees towards the east, okay? I'm going to go look south. Okay, I'm looking south, 0 degrees south, right? See my south, I'm looking south, right there's like south, and then I'm going 10 degrees towards east. So I'm going just this tiny little rotation here, okay? Okay, see that? I'm looking south at 0. I'm going to rotate 10 degrees towards the east, okay? Because that's what it says. That's what it says, okay? Now, I'm going to go 6 knots. So let's draw it 6 centimeters, okay? Draw it 6 centimeters. 6 centimeters. Okay, and there's boat B, okay? There's boat B, and that's 6, okay? Now, that's also 10 degrees, okay? I'll step back and let you think about what I have, okay? So I've got 8 knots, I drew it 8 centimeters. I have 6 knots, I drew it 6 centimeters.
Do you have a triangle?
I will have a triangle. Yes, very good. I do. In fact, that you're ahead of me. Good. Yep. Now, 35 degrees because of my bearing, 10 degrees because of my bearing. Now, what I really need is this angle, 55. You okay with the 55? You okay with the 55, right? 90 degrees, right? 55. And 80, right? You okay with the 80? Okay with the 80? 10 and 80 makes 90, right? And then, sure enough, Gage, you're right. I do indeed have a triangle. Let's check it out. The triangle I have is this one. Highlight it in blue, okay? The triangle I have is here, and here, and here, because this is how far apart they are, right? I'll back up, okay? Do you see the triangle I have? Okay, do you see the triangle? Which line? So, it's, the 8 is a speed, like 8 knots, nautical miles per hour. So I drew this 8 centimeters to represent 8 knots, okay? This is 6 knots, so I drew 6 centimeters to represent my speed. Does that help? Or distance, okay? Now, they're going to go for 3 hours. You guys okay on my triangle? Okay. They're going to go for 3 hours. So instead of going 8, it's going to go 24. You okay with that? Multiply this by 3 because they're going to go 3 hours. So 8 times 3 makes this 24. Okay? How am I doing? Does that make sense? Just don't draw it 3 times as long. You'd be off your page, right? Let's just multiply it by 3. So Anna, I'm going to go 8, another 8, another 8, right? Way out there. So after 3 hours, it's really gone 24 because I'm going for 3 hours. And this is going to go 6 times 3, which is 18 knots. Because it's going for 3 hours, so it goes 8 miles. What's called miles? It goes 8 miles in 1 hour. So in 3 hours, it's going to go 24, right? It's a 24. It goes 6 miles in 1 hour, so in 3 hours, it goes 18 miles. Everybody okay with that? No. Oh, it's not. It's times 3. 6 times 3. 8 times 3. 3 hours. 3 hours, okay? Now, do you see a triangle? Now, if you want to find out how far apart they are, we have, what do we know? We know side, angle, side, don't we? So we know side, angle, side. So we look at the board. Okay, side, angle, side, side, angle, side. Mr. Davis said, use the board. Use my notes. Side, angle, side, side, angle, side. Ah, use this one, right? Cosines, right?
To make it
You have, thanks.
Man, that's too hot for this shit. Amanda, stab you in the back.
So let's use our
I'm ready.
law of cosine. So let's go c squared, right, is equal to my 24 squared plus 18 squared minus 2 times 24 times 18 times cosine of, what's that angle? 135, right? Is that 135 degrees? Right? That angle's 135 degrees. Okay, so I'm just going to use my calculator, right? I can use my calculator. And I'm going to go 24 squared plus 18 squared minus 2 times 24 times 18 times cosine 135 degrees. And I get about 1,510. Well, that's way too big, right? Because I have to do what? I have to square root that answer.
Wait, David, did the 135 come from 6 times 80?
Yes. Yes. Square root that answer, and I get an answer about 38.9. Okay, how's that? Okay, so let me stop recording. Yes. Austin, what'd you get?
1,205.
Check your mode first. Check your mode first. Okay. Let me stop this real quick, and then I'll come check. Okay.